Ex-Facebook users, what made you quit? Dropped it about 7 years ago. It was a combination of things. Mainly I felt that I didn't have anything interesting enough to post, and that made me feel that my life was somehow lacking. I didn't care about 95% of my friends and their lives. The people I actually liked I saw IRL. Haven't regretted it for a second. I had it for about a month and then someone used it to stalk me. Mom groups. I quit 10 years ago and rejoined last year in an effort to connect with local moms. Nope. No thank you. Never again. It was several years ago, so I don't remember what was the straw that broke the camel's back. It was likely a combination of me being friends with people that I really didn't actually talk to anymore and the drama over politics. My grandma died recently. Not of COVID. Anyway, she was amazing and we were super close. I got my own Facebook account at 13 and every posted I ever made she commented on. She wanted to make sure I never posted anything inappropriate and that I would never post anything that I wasn't comfortable with her seeing. She never stopped commenting, even when I turned 22. Anyways, when she passed I deleted my account cause I can barely face the rest of my life without her. Let alone handle a Facebook post she doesn't comment on. I saw people tagging each other. But nobody tagged me in any meme, so feeling sad I quit. I was about to leave my abuser and told my therapist I was exhausted by the idea of explaining it to everybody when they inevitably asked on Facebook. She told me I didn't owe every single person on the planet an explanation for anything going on in my personal life. I realized then that I was using Facebook as a crutch to validate every insecurity of mine. It's been 2 years since I left my abuser and Facebook, and honestly I've been living my best life without either. Too much stalking from both ends. I would get caught up in snooping on others and vice versa. It's just such a toxic environment. You wanna know where most child porn is posted in the internet? Facebook. You wanna know the company that currently invented the whole data mining cash cow thing for advertisers? Completed invading your privacy? Facebook. You wanna know what was originally created as a way to rate the faces of hot women because some cry-baby student was pissed he couldn't get laid? Mark Zuckerberg, owner of Facebook. I avoided it for a long time, then signed up around 2010 from peer pressure. Deactivated in 2012 because it just made me sad every time I logged in. Afterward I realized I felt a lot better being away from it and I deleted my account entirely later that year. I've never looked back, and based on everything that came out about Facebook, I'm glad I left when I did. Shitty privacy policies and the ability for people I don't like to contact me. Also, Janine, I don't give a fuck that your eating an apple diet starts today. I found myself living for likes and comments. I figured I should probably start living for myself. Not having any real friends. I quit in 11-12 right when the share feature was added. 9 out of 10 posts were people's stupid, so tired today, attention-seeking nonsense. Which was fine because the 10th on average was a funny and clever one. But then once sharing came into the mix it went from 99 to 1. The same attention seekers could find some article, hey, have you seen this lost dog in Belleville, Kansas, even though we live in NH per megaampere. And I just couldn't take it anymore. It became a place used by bullies and hateful people. Jealousy. I found myself getting jealous of people from high school who'd married well, had cute kids, were hotter at their 30s and 40s, Tay works. I didn't like who I was becoming as a user, so I quit 7 years ago. I know nothing about the going-ons of acquaintances etc. Am out of the loop a lot, but am much healthier and happier for it. I thoroughly prefer Reddit over the look at me sites. Facebook permanently disabled mine and my wife's accounts. 10 years ago, I was in training in the Royal Navy. Some intelligence officer came in and gave a spiel that while they wouldn't enforce social media deletion, they would prefer it if we set things to private or even temporarily closed our profiles while we were serving. I decided to be extra cautious and deleted my FB that day. It wasn't exactly bringing me much joy anyway, and have never used it since. I prefer not to know which of my family and friends are morons politically, but also those solve this basic maths problem where order of operations are important. Facebook used to be a cool place where I could catch up with friends and read occasional posts about interesting things they got up to. These days it's a stream of consciousness for angry idiots and bored old people who want to berate and publicly shame anyone who doesn't believe their conspiracy theory bullshit. Facebook used to bring people together and let them celebrate their differences. Today it's a weapon for punishing people for thinking differently. Everyone I graduated high school with kinda sucks. Lots of attention-seeking posts, political shit, but probably mostly people posting about them living their lives while I can't even land a job is toxic for my mental health. Facebook prolongs relationships that should have, upon reaching the end of their lifespans, died a natural death. There's nothing wrong with people drifting apart as they grow into different people. Facebook holds that relationship hostage and you become stuck connected to people you don't actually know anymore but feel obligated to stay connected to. Been out few years now and I don't miss it. I think the deciding factors were realizing I was spending so much time trying to correct people's crazy political posts instead of doing literally anything else constructive with my time. I wanted real interactions with people, not constant bombardment of messages and notifications about crap that just made me depressed. Realizing how much time I spent doing things for the validation of my friends. It just sort of fueled my depression. Seeing everyone vacationing and constantly be out with friends when I felt stuck is what let me know that FB wasn't for me. Since then I've been feeling so much more secure and happier smiling face. Honestly, it just wasn't fun anymore. Someone's keeps sending me dick pics. I quit the day after the 2016 election. Also, I couldn't take former classmates trying to friend me who never said a word to me in HS. It was so hard to see posts by people I worked with that were so racist. Getting to know too much about a person can be a bad thing sometimes. It was an absolute waste of time and full of rubbish. I don't care about your cat or what meal you had or your opinion on politics. So it was an easy decision to get rid of it 5 years ago. I don't and won't do any of the others for the same reason, except for Reddit. It's pointless. Most people use Instagram. That's the go-to, besides the older people. Plus, I really don't care to see people's profiles I hardly speak to. If I want to stay connected with somebody, they can either text me and see me in person. Very dumb and addictive. My ex-husband used it to stalk me. Plus it just seemed like it was making people so narcissistic. I do not miss it one bit. Bad for my mental health in general. My mum quit as she said every time she opened the app it was like getting bombarded with spam mail. Can't remember her exact wording but it was something along those lines. My friends. Got tired of them thinking it's okay not reach out. They just check my profile, see what I'm up to and they think they are updated with what's going on with my life. Remember, if you are not paying for a product, you are the product. I deactivated my Facebook account about 6 to 7 years ago, no idea. Facebook used to be the funnest shit ever. You could play Hotel City, Restaurant City, Farmville but my all-time favorite was Pet Society. Anyways, since they all shut down eventually, Facebook became nothing but some random messaging app to me. I don't really need it, but now I use my brother's account to buy things from Facebook Marketplace. Not sure if that counts lol. It's a landfill full of drama and nonsense. It's also a glorified birthday calendar reminder tool. It made me hate people. For me the drop that made the cup spill was https://m.imdb.com/title/tt4736550/ and https://m.imdb.com/title/tt1146482/. I knew about the tracking, read the articles on the mental issues but when it came in your face like that I could no longer justify it. Family drama. Also, I realized that I wasted a huge chunk of my childhood, teenage years on it. All my memories are of playing games and aimlessly scrolling through that site. My relatives, super cringe memes. And I forgot my password. I have a functioning brain, and would like to keep it that way. It was fuel for my depression. Just constantly seeing the things I'll never get to have. The privacy scandals and the Cambridge Analytica mess. I didn't use it much anyway. Then the most important people in my life, my own immediate family, seemed to think that liking my birthday on Facebook was a decent substitute for actually reaching to personally call or text me or something to say happy birthday. I live alone. I don't have other family members who are going to say anything. Even my own mother and father, who doesn't even have FB, didn't call me. Birthdays are a big deal in my family. I got one text from a colleague who had taken me out for lunch the day before. My birthday was on a Saturday that year. After spending the weekend cycling through multiple emotions, mostly that my family just didn't care, I downloaded my FB history and disabled it that evening. I haven't been back since. My family still mostly ignores me, but they don't forget my birthday. My dad let everyone have it. Mostly due to a wane in interest. I would literally open it in the morning, scroll through my feed and never go back to it until the next day, and a lack of anything worth putting up. I've always made an effort to keep my online and offline life separate from each other. But also a lack of trust in the website. It had seemed like it chose to actively dither about when it came with dealing with disinformation on the platform for the sake of bringing in the advertising dollars. It was just becoming too toxic to stay on. One day I had just decided to not go on it and turn off all of my notifications, and a day turned to weeks, to months. It's been about a year and a half since, and while I wouldn't say I'm mentally better off for it, I'm certainly not worse off either, so I'm happy to be going without. Literally all I use it for is speaking with family on Messenger. I realized that I could control what I wanted to see on social media. It turns out that seeing inane updates from friends and family was not what I wanted to see. Now I just use Instagram and only follow accounts that post inspiration for architecture, art and music. As a consequence, my Instagram is a joy to browse. Pure inspiration and creativity. No comparisons and self-doubt comparing my life with friends or family. No politics, I can get that from reading news. No negativity, life's full of that as it is. I've not been on Facebook in about 5 years and I never miss it. Same with Twitter. As an introvert I hate small talk. I realized most social platforms are mainly small talk. So I made a conscious effort to avoid them, and shape them in the image that I wanted to see. The fact I never used my real name, date of birth, phone number and had a throwaway email. Until one day the big brains of FB sent me a message stating they didn't believe my name was real and demanded I provide 3 forms of ID, driver's license, birth certificate, etc., or my account would be terminated. I replied that there was no way in hell I was going to provide those Muppets with my personal forms of ID. I don't trust those pricks not to misuse them. So I let them cancel my account. Had to get rid of Facebook and Instagram for my own safety. My ex-partner is an abusive dick and so is his family. I had to spend about 6 months rotating to different people's houses, family, friends etc. Just so they wouldn't work out where I was. They came into my work and security were on it like shot. Big props to them. Police were involved for a year but there was never an arrest. I felt angry that I had to change so much about my life just to be safe and he could continue as he was. I'm better now. Moved a long way away, have a good job but still worry about social media so I just cut it out. My friends keep me in the loop over WhatsApp smiling face. Bored of it, and I wanted to purge all of the pants on head retarded posts I made as a teenager. Why would I quit? It's a great app for identifying Raciot family and friends. I quit because being on it made me unhappy. Politics, social and governmental. It's not worth getting all worked up over one way or another. Didn't like everyone knowing when I was online. I deleted my ACC after watching The Social Dilemma on Netflix. NGL. I really had goosebumps after watching it. Spent too much time on and it made me see things that make me angry too much. I decided if I was going to make a video, photographic album of my life it would not be on a platform controlled and owned by someone else. If anyone would like to come over and see my 23 albums of photos of ridiculous stuff like what I had for dinner last night, my dog smiling at me, the tree out back changing colors and other really cool shit, let me know. It's the same reason as to why I left Twitter. It's just not a good place for your mental health to be. A few reasons. The first being nearly every post was just recycled internet garbage. Just everyone posting memes or motivational pictures or whatever else they found on the internet. Almost no one posting an original thought, or even if they did post original content, it was almost never worth the few seconds spent reading it. Also, never-ending baby pictures. Second, I began to lose respect for people I had known and liked for many years because of how they carried themselves on Facebook. I really liked my cousin when I saw her a few times a year on holidays. Following her day-to-day life on Facebook damaged my opinion of her, unfortunately. Lastly, I wasted far too much time on something that offered me little value in return. I was tired of checking Facebook 50 times a day, and all I got in return was stupid memes and wasted time. Political propaganda from family, friends, and their personal drama that no one should know about, and people joining MLMs when the pandemic happened, and trying to rope me into their schemes. I kind of just snapped and said I couldn't stand it. I deactivated, and have not been in it for more than 5 minutes if I do reactivate it. Anyone uses Facebook nowadays does so solely for attention and validation emo. I couldn't stop cringing at how every post was structured and aimed at the whole world with the intentions of attracting as many likes and comments as possible. For what purpose exactly? I made a lot of changes in my digital life because of privacy concerns. Facebook was but one of the bridges I burned. I quit a few years ago. When Facebook came to my university and everyone signed up, it was really cool. The ability to connect with people you had lost touch with and a relatively clean and ad-free experience was quite fun. It felt like every day, more people were signing up and you'd receive a friend request from someone who you thought you'd never talk to again. By the time I quit, it felt like they had taken shitty email forwards from the early invasive, thoughtless advertisements and shitty, pointless political arguments and combined them all into one annoying experience. I hated logging on to Facebook, because I would almost immediately hate something about it. Deleting my account changed almost nothing about my life or my ability to keep up with the people I want to keep up with. Facebook sucks, and it's a shame because it used to be a really fun, cool thing. It turns out everyone I know is a fucking retard. Thanks for watching. See you later.